Hello, how's it going? Matt here, welcome back to my channel, SuperCard Models. Got another video for you today on the Gallardo, of course, and what I'm going to be doing is showing you how I built the two doors. Well, actually, I'll show you the process for how to build one door for the Gallardo. But yeah, these were a little bit tricky. Each door contains quite a few parts. There's a few tricky shapes to kind of make work properly and make it look good with cardboard and the foil board and the foam board that I'm working with on this build. So yeah, I'll show you how I did it. Let's get started. Here is one of the completed doors for the Gallardo. I designed the doors to be removable and also so that they open-close just like the real car. I carefully documented every part for the doors during my design process, and here's a quick look at the plans in my Illustrator file. And you can see that as well as documenting all the separate parts, I've added assembly notes as well, just in case I want to build another Gallardo from my plans at some point in the future. Also, I documented all the parts for the side mirrors here too. Here's a set of parts for one door, which I've hand cut from sheets of various materials such as cardboard and foam core board and black foil board. So I'll begin the assembly process by making hinges for the door. The main arm of the hinges is cut from foam core board, and then I'll glue on a couple of cardboard parts, mainly to reinforce the hinges and also to add as like spacers. Once I've glued the hinge parts all together, I give them a coat of Tamiya black paint to match the Gallardo's body colour. I'm also painting the two structural support parts which fit inside the door, and they are cut from lengths of wooden ice block stick. So the hinges are ready to fit to the car. Each one glues into a slot that I've designed into the forward door pillar. Now I'll begin to construct the door itself. The large foam core board part you can see in the background is the foundation piece for the door. All the rest of the door parts build off that, starting with the 4 foam core board parts you can see here. These all glue into place simply using tabs on each part and slots on the foundation piece. This strip, which I've cut from 1000 GSM cardboard, needs some pre-shaping before I fit it to the door structure. I've got a printout from my plans there to use as a guide, so I can make sure that I'm putting the bends in the right places. And I'll just continue to bend the piece around my Sharpie pen until I'm happy that it matches the plan closely enough. And then I can fit it to the door structure. And it just simply pushes into tabs that I've run down one side into corresponding slots that I've cut into the surface of the foam core board foundation piece. Here's how the door structure is looking so far. Now I'm going to prepare and fit the two hinge structural support parts which I painted earlier. I won't glue these in just yet, so that the door will have some adjustability. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And this is just a small reflector detail which I've cut from red foil board. And that gets glued to the rear edge of the door, just like on the real car. One other detail that I'll make and add to the door before I do a test fit is this small bracket, and this will create a height adjustable mounting point for the top leading edge of the door skin. You'll see how that works shortly. Now I can fit the door structure assembly to the car and see how it fits and sits. I can make small adjustments to the position of the door structure relative to the top and bottom hinge supports to make sure the door sits in just the right place. So I just carefully continue to check and tweak the door fitment so I'm happy with its alignment and so that it opens and closes perfectly. Once I'm happy that everything is in the right place, I can go ahead and glue the two hinge supports in place. That way the door can't accidentally move out of alignment once I've fitted the outer door skin. Because once I've fitted the outer door skin, I won't be able to access these hinge supports anymore. This is the inner door skin panel, and I've cut it from 1000 GSM black cardboard, and it requires some initial shaping and folding before I fit it to the door. I'll start by gluing this panel in a few places. If I glued all the points where the panel contacts the inner structure at once, I won't have enough hands to hold it properly in place while the glue dries. And it's important that this inner door skin panel is aligned just right. As I hold it and the glue starts to dry, I frequently use a small piece of shiny black foil board to check that the outer door skin will align properly, especially at the leading edge where the door meets the front fender. I have to hold it in place for quite a while for the glue to dry enough so that I can let it go. Next, I can glue the trailing edge of the inner door skin to the door structure underneath, like this. After that, I can glue the front edge of the door's top surface to the little bracket that I added earlier. I'll also add a bracket to the rear edge of the door's upper surface, like this. Now the inner door skin is fixed in place, and all the various edges look like they will align where they meet the front fender and rear quarter panel. Next, I'll add a piece that I've cut from 1000 GSM cardboard. And this is the weather seal which runs along the bottom of the side window, and it sits in place just with tabs and slots. I'll remove the door from the car now, just to add the next few details. The inside of the door needs a surface for the interior door card to fit to, so I'll prepare and fit that now. Here's what the leading edge and inside of the door looks like now. This is the first outer body panel part. It's easier to glue this one to the outer door skin now before I add the main door skin over the top. Okay, I can refit the door to the car now, and I can add a small spacer piece to the door's lower edge. Next, I can prepare the main outer door skin. I've cut this part out of shiny black foil board. The first thing I'll do is go around and make the edges black with my black Sharpie pen, so that once the part is fitted to the door, you won't see the white edges of the card. So once I've done some pre-folding, I'll offer the part up to the door and do a bit of a test fit. So I'm just checking to make sure that all the gaps like where the door meets the front guard, and at the rear kind of trailing edge of the door where it meets the quarter panel. It still lines up perfectly. I'm happy with the door gaps. I can slightly trim the edges of this piece at this point to make sure it all fits really nice before I actually go ahead and glue it on. So I'm happy that it'll fit properly, so yeah, I can go ahead and glue it on now. I only need a small line of glue around the periphery of the panel, and that will also make sure the door skin will appear flat and smooth once the door has dried. If I just covered the entire surface of the door with glue, it would kind of dry like lumpy and wavy and it wouldn't look smooth at all. So I found that this is the best technique. I need to constantly press and smooth the glued areas with my fingers while the glue dries. Then I can move up to the door handle area and glue that. Then the same with the top surface of the door. I don't try and just glue the whole part on all at once, mainly again because I don't have enough hands to hold the entire thing, but I just find the end result is better and nicer if I just do one portion at a time, making sure that each bit is done right. The last few details include the door handle part, a small mount for the side mirror, and this section to finish off the bottom contour of the door where the skin curves in towards the air duct in the rear quarter panel. I'll remove the door once again and fit another finishing strip made from 210 GSM black paper to the rear edge and around the underneath the door, and that just covers any exposed foam board and makes it all look a lot neater.
Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? We're running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind.
This is the side window, which I've cut from a sheet of clear acetate plastic, and the lower part of the piece is a large tab which will hold the window in place, and it just needs to be folded slightly. Now it's time to make the side mirror. The first task is to glue together the underlying structure of the mirror, which is made up of several parts that I've cut from 1000 GSM cardboard. The mirror piece itself is cut from chrome foil board. I just need to go around the edge with my silver paint pen. The side mirrors on a real Superleggero Gallardo are made from carbon fibre. What I've done is created a carbon fibre style pattern in Illustrator, used that pattern when I've created the outer parts for the side mirror, and printed them out on glossy photo paper. I did find though that my fingers mark the ink on these photo paper parts if I'm not careful, so I had to use like a paper towel when I was assembling them. And the end result looks pretty convincing, I reckon. And there's one of the finished side mirrors. Now the door can be put back on the car. I'll insert the side window. And then finally glue the side mirror in its correct position. And that's it. That's one of the doors done. I then repeated the exact same process all over again for the other door, of course. The door fits great, looks good, plus it opens and closes super smoothly. Yes, so there we go, that's the doors done for the Gallardo. They were tricky little things to build, quite a design challenge to get them looking just right and fitting perfectly and operating nicely, but yeah, I think they turned out pretty good, so I'm happy. Next video will probably be a bit of a short one. It's just like a small panel that sits on the back of the car above the rear bumper, so I'll show you how I put that one together. And then after that we'll do the hatch or the engine cover, so that'll be an exciting one as well. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Yeah, so thanks for watching. As usual, if you're building something like this yourself, I'd love to see some photos. Just email me some pics to matt@supercardmodels.com or DM me on Instagram. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.